And we are spieling it in the kitchen, brought to you by Prairie Farms. This is like one of my favorite things to say. So, bake me happy.
Yes.
Thanks so much for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
Again.
Yes.
You did such a great job with the carrots. We wanted you to do donuts and frosting and we just like to be entertained.
Well, I appreciate it.
So you've got it is a business. I mean, we were
Yes.
poking fun. It's Bake Me Happy, and I can tell you this is probably the key to most everyone's heart that I know. And you've had huge success because you're kind of doing it in a way that nobody else is doing it. Like with you, you're not afraid to go outside the lines and do bigger and better and more stuff on things. Talk about how you try to run your business in regards to design.
So I just try to be different than everyone else. Obviously, that's really hard because it's not necessarily unique. Everything has been done by everyone before. But getting inspiration by things that aren't necessarily in our area. I like to travel a lot, and I like to go to different cities, and I take little ideas from everywhere that I go, and I bring them back, and I just like to make that here.
Perfect. Well, I love what you said you're going to do today. We're going to have some fun with the cake, and then we're going to do some things on the donuts. And I noticed you spent quite a bit of time with this icing. So what is it about icing that, how do you know when it's ready and ripe to go onto a cake?
Okay, so I actually used the same buttercream 2 different ways on this cake. So I kind of prepped it to get it ready to go because I wanted it to be set so we could decorate it. So when we're first putting together a cake, it's really important that the buttercream, when we first put it on, is maybe a little stiffer than when we finish it.
Okay.
When I put it together, I'm stacking the layers with a little bit stiffer of a buttercream so that we can basically give it some structure and shape and let it hold, because you don't want it to fall. So one thing that you see on Pinterest and all of your pictures all the time, everyone sees these perfectly smooth cakes.
Right.
Well, the trend now is kind of not having a perfect cake. It's finding perfection in imperfection, which is great, because then I don't want to say anybody can do it, but it gives kind of the home baker a little more of a chance to explore their creativity.
Not be so freaked out.
Exactly.
Hey, what's that over there? Oh, never mind. Okay, wait. That was so good. I had to do that.
So what I like to do is start by doing my top first. So I'll put a big plop of icing on top, and always put more than you think you need. If you do less, then you run the risk of not having enough, having to add more, smooth it out.
You want more frosting.
Yeah, then it becomes unlevel. So if you add more, you can actually put it on, spin it, and it'll be nice and even, and it'll push to that outer edge and kind of go over and make your job a lot easier.
See, I would present that to my family and go, look how pretty that is. I love it. And I think you could.
Some people do a naked style cake. In fact, where I started at, that's a popular wedding style right now. Like a naked cake where it has very minimal frosting. So you'll do your top first, and then you'll take and start doing your sides. So you'll just place a little bit right on the side and kind of push up right into this top lip. And by having your icing a lot looser, and that's kind of the term that you want by adding that heavy cream in there, it does make it easier to go on and smooth out like this. So I have everything around the cake, and as you can see, it's not even. It's going to look like a hot mess at the moment.
Okay.
So from here, you have options.
We have options. We like options. Okay.
Yes. So you can either start to smooth it out.
Okay.
You can decide if you want to do a scalloped cake, whatever you want to do from there. All right. So here's where it gets fun.
I'm excited.
I'm going to take a paintbrush, and it's something people don't think about when you're using cake, but it's really nice to have on hand. And I've got 3 different colors here, and we're going to go sunset inspired. So I'm just going to add my pink first, and I'm just going to randomly dot it in spots on the cake. So as I've dotted that through, it is good to go. So you're going to go back to the spatula, and if you want to get a little icing, you can. It's totally up to you, but just put it right on the side of the cake, And you're just going to start pulling it around.
Oh.
And as you do that,
Did you guys see that?
it is going to, and don't be afraid to pick up your spatula and just kind of move it, pull up. You can make angles if you want.
That's really neat.
So I like to do this and do little kind of swooshes up the side.
That is so much fun.
So for this one, we're gonna kind of do it a little tropical.
Okay.
So I have some different non-edible toppings that we can do on here. So we've got some leaves and some little vines, but this specific one, we're gonna do tropical theme with these. So I like to do different textures.
Okay.
So this here, I'll start with one that we're gonna kind of trail down the cake. I will start creating that dimension within the top of the cake where I want it to specifically be.
And some people may wonder, you know, why are you spending all this time? Why are you putting on these things that are not edible? But you have to understand anymore at a party, at an event, wedding, the cake is a centerpiece.
And that's the truth. It really is. Don't be afraid to use little fun party things like this. If you're making a cake that is tropical inspired, grab a fun little pick like this. So,
awesome.
So by doing
Always
that,
fun. Look at that.
no matter what angle you look at the cake.
It's gorgeous. I love it. And you're right. You would not want to eat that because you just want to stare at it. And it's so pretty. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to break. And when we do that, during the break, they're going to see you work some magic on your donuts. Because that's the one thing. When people come and they look in your case or if they look at something that you've displayed, I don't even think you make to order.
Right now, yes.
Yeah.
Until we get our storefront open.
So people usually spend a lot of time looking at that because you've put so much yumminess and goodness on there, right?
Yes,
So.
and kind of like the cakes.
Beautiful.
People now are switching to things like donuts as their centerpiece. They're doing donut walls and stuff like that.
All right, so she will, stay tuned. She'll offer you a little bit and she's going to zoom through that part of it. So listen, you know where to find her. Bake Me Happy, is that right on,
Yes.
Okay, online?
Bake Me Happy Food Co.
Okay, Keisha, you're a rock star. You already know that though, right?
Thank you.
And she sings, and she was on American Idol and The
I was
Voice.
not.
And
I just
The
auditioned.
Voice,
That was
and
no. I did not audition for The Voice.
She really did. I mean,
no, I did not.
great.
No.
Yeah.
Please don't put that on there. If you
She goes,
only
fake
knew.
news.
Fake news.